Okay, I have just added some more accessibility gesture layouts, which are quite interesting. There's three that are interesting here that I'm going to talk about. They're all very closely related. So the idea is for people who have reduced mobility in their ability to move their hands like this or whatever. These three variations are very closely related. They've just got some slight tweaks into what combinations of gestures do what actions. The idea being that it depends what you actually want to use the computer for, which actions are going to be most useful to you. So I'm just going to apply my favourite one, and I'll show you that, and there are variations that you can see there. So let's hop into... Oh yeah, and probably a good point to make is that each one has a README file which is describing the pros and cons of these different gesture layouts, and how to do each gesture. Cool, so let's go and apply it. Bonk, and we're going to... Oh, sorry, just before I do that, so you'll notice here that at the moment, this is what you would have seen me demo in most of the videos so far. So I'm doing clicks by tilting my hand, I can scroll by grabbing, and so on. I accidentally done a middle click, that's fine. So there's that. Now you're going to see it's going to behave very differently in just a moment. Beautiful. Okay, so now, if I now tilt my hand, you see nothing happens. So now if I go instead, like this, and I have done a click there by pushing the secondary hand all the way through. So that's one way of doing a click. Another way is pushing the primary hand all the way through. Why do we have both of those? So let's have a quick look at that. If I just push my hand all the way through, I've got no movement of the mouse here. So that means there's no possibility of doing drags. But if we want to do a drag, then what we can do is we can instead push the secondary hand all the way through, and now I can actually move the primary hand to get the cursor. Okay, now we have just selected some text there. This is where the demo gods are going to be bad. So what we can do in Linux, middle click is paste. So let's go and apply a paste here and see if we can get this to work first go. So what we have to do here is first, we get the cursor roughly where we want it to be, and now we put in a secondary hand to put in this gesture here. And now, if I go and push the primary hand, like that, and now take this away, and you can see there that I've accidentally done a right click as well, so that means I haven't quite nailed it. But if you have a look in the README, it tells you how to nail that. I've literally only been using it for an hour or so, so I really haven't got practice with this, but it's fairly easy to master if you want to. We've also got things like scroll, so that's like that. And the other thing actually that's making this a bit more difficult is I haven't got the sound on, so let's fix that now. Okay, hand in. Okay, you hear the dong, pull it back one, and now we've got the scroll. Okay, and then here, with my hand here, if I now push in, I'll get a right click. And then if I take that away, I get a left click. So, it's all simply with just how far in you move each hand for what functionality you get. That would have been loud, I'm sorry. Anyway, there's one more detail that's relevant here, and that is I've done some tweaks to make it really easy, because someone who has reduced mobility with these sorts of mobility with these sorts of movements may not have good control over whether they're accidentally having their hand open or closed, or how much they're tilting their hand, and it's something that they don't need and they shouldn't need to think about. So I've actually gone and disabled those gestures. So you can see here, nothing's happening. It's not giving us any notification sound to let us know that it's changed gestures. And same thing with if I open and close my hand, it's not recognizing any change of state there. And the way I've done that is I've changed the threshold for what constitutes the hand being open or closed, and I've made it so that there's only one segment, so you're always in the same segment no matter what, so there's never going to be a change there. Now the catch with that is if you go and apply this, those changes are going to persist even if you go and apply a different gesture layout. So I've put in the README how to fix that. It's really easy. You just simply need to delete a couple of files. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to go and apply my favorite gesture layout. So we're just going to go and pop into tilt click, and it was that one. That's my favorite one. Beautiful. So first I'm going to delete. Do I still have it on my history? I don't have it on my history, so we're going to just quickly figure it out. Let's go into the config directory, handWavey, and if we have a look over here, there are two things in particular that we need to change. So that's the gestureconfig.yaml, the ultramotion.yaml. So let's go and delete both of those. And the reason why I say delete is that we can go and edit those things back. But if we just delete them, we're going to get the defaults come through. So unless you've got something specific in there, you may as well just delete them. Cool, so we deleted those. And then there's one more which is optional, which is the zones. I brought the action zone just a little bit closer since you use it so much for this layout. In my testing, I found that I actually preferred to keep it a little bit further away because for my normal usage, I generally don't use the action zone, so it's nice not to accidentally hit it. So we're just going to pop back over here and we're going to remove the zones as well. So now let's go and pop over and restart handWavey. And now, oh, I had failed. Why did that not work? The reason why this didn't work is because I didn't go and apply my gesture layout. So I have definitely deleted those, which is good. Can I click? Yes, okay, that's fine. So now let's go and copy star YAML into the config handWavey. Beautiful. And now we need to just pop over here again and restart this again. So the key thing was, yes, I actually need to put the note about that. I'll update that after this. But the key thing is, delete those files and then apply the gesture layout that you want, then restart handWavey. So now if we go and do this, we should now be able to select like so. So that's all working normally. Scroll's all working normally. We're back to an operational setup.